Look at this for a second. Your hand reaches for your phone without you deciding. You scroll without remembering why. What happens when a mind forgets how to be still? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't just understand it. You will feel what stillness actually is. We don't notice anymore. The moment there is silence. We feel it. A notification, a scroll, a thought, another video. Even when nothing is happening, something in us needs to happen. But deep down, there's a different desire. Not more stimulation, something softer. A moment where your body can finally stop preparing. But here's the problem. We've trained our nervous system to expect constant input. Tiny hits of dopamine, micro rewards, endless loops, scroll, pause, scroll again, each one small, but together constant, and the system adapts. So when nothing is happening, it doesn't feel peaceful, it feels uncomfortable, almost like something is missing. But nothing is missing. What you're feeling is the absence of stimulation your body became used to. And your system doesn't interpret that as a rest. It interprets it as uncertainty. This is why doing nothing feels difficult. Not because you're lazy, but because your nervous system is still active, waiting for the next signal. Now look at the nature for a moment. A tree doesn't scroll. A river don't rush unless it needs to. A plant doesn't search for stimulation. When there is nothing happening, nothing happens. And that is regulation. But we don't trust that anymore. We've confused stillness with inactivity, and inactivity with danger. So we keep moving, not physically, but internally. Thoughts, inputs, distractions, always something. And slowly, without noticing, we lose the ability to simply be. Maybe you've felt this before. That moment at night when everything goes quiet, no noise, no distractions, and suddenly your mind gets louder, your body more alert, not because something is wrong, but because it doesn't recognize stillness anymore. The body keeps patterns. It learns what to expect. It adapts to repetition. When stimulation becomes constant, silence becomes unfamiliar, and unfamiliar does not feel safe. That's why the body can hold tension even when nothing is happening. So the shift is not try to relax. It doesn't work like that. The shift is this. Stillness, it's not laziness. It's regulation. Stillness, it's the moment your system stops scanning, stops preparing, stops expecting. Not because you forced it, but because it finally feels safe enough to do nothing. So, if you want to feel this, don't try to meditate. Don't try to clear your mind. Just do this. Sit and notice what your body does when nothing is added. At first, it may resist. That's okay. That's the system unlearning. But if you stay without forcing, something subtle begins to shift. Breathing changes, thoughts slow without effort. Not because you control them, but because they were no longer needed. And in that moment, you realize something simple. Stillness was never the problem. It was the absence of noise your body had forgotten how to trust. If you want to explore this deeper, you can do it on your own. Just create space every day for a few minutes of nothing. No input, no goal. Or if you want support in that process, this is exactly what I've built. A space where sound is not stimulation, but something your nervous system can recognize as safe. Where you don't try to relax, you simply stop interrupting what your body already knows how to do. You can explore it here. So next time your hand reaches for your phone, pause and ask yourself, what happens if I don't? And just for a moment, listen.